Hello and welcome to the Mr. Winter podcast. I've got here with me today Dave Rowlands.
What's happening?
Second time's the charm, eh? Here we go.
Second time's the charm.
We're going to pretend like it was the first time and it worked all along.
Yeah, the mics have been absolutely perfect.
So I haven't seen you in a while, Dave, have I?
No. It's been, what, about a week?
Yeah. It's been that long. Bloody hell, what's been going on in your life?
Not an awful lot, man. Been unwell. So all four of us, the whole house, got it with a rather severe case of the old Noro.
Who started it?
The boy. Well, actually, my nephew. So my lad stayed at my mum's, had a sleepover. My nephew was unwell. Then the lad was unwell. Then the daughter was unwell. Then me and the missus, kind of at the same time. So Thursday, Friday we were like John and Yoko. It just didn't move for a couple of days, but yeah,
like in the Imagine video.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Bad times, but yeah, I'm all right now. Missus is still a little bit dodgy, but I'm okay. How about yourself? All right?
I've been doing well. Not mentally. No, of course not.
I don't expect that from you, to be fair.
I do occasionally give you like a call just for like support. Like, are these jokes good? A random assortment of hate crimes that you always approve, which I'm very glad to see. Called you the other day, and in the background, I'd caught you in the middle of practicing your black voice, and you had like a smoke detector that wasn't working, just to like really enhance the effect as well.
Yeah. Well, so on the black voice, I don't consider it to be that. If you've seen that bit in particular, then you'll know. I've added the little. Certainly, if you've seen it recently, I've added the little tag to it to put that abhorrent racism in your mind as the listener. I'm not suggesting it's any race. It's just a deep voice. I see it more as like a kind of big bearded sort of biker kind of guy.
Okay.
More of no particular race. I might throw another little tag on occasionally that I'll say, if you thought it was black, that's on you. I thought it was Chinese or Mexican or, because you can be any colour with an English accent, man. It doesn't matter.
You can be, man. Yeah, that's how it works.
So it's on you. You decide what colour that guy is.
Yeah, you're the bad guys if you're listening and you think anything different.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Speaking of race and ethnicity, I get questioned on this a lot. Mainly the question is, where are you from?
You are ambiguous looking.
I'm ambiguous looking. Mexican DJ Khaled. Bit of a fag as well, so Pablo Shagdar. One of those two.
Now listen, he's got an F-bomb card. He's allowed. Just haven't known it was him who said that.
Yeah. And in my generosity, I give F cards to everyone else as well. So Davey?
I'm alright, mate, thanks.
No. Okay.
I'll hold on to that for when I'm in the car on my own and someone cuts me up.
Absolutely. Let it rip there. You let it rip before. I even gave you the card as well. Allegedly.
Listen, I grew up in the 90s. I'm not going to pretend like I never used it. But, since it's fallen out of fashion, I don't use it so much anymore.
There we go.
When I say so much, I mean at all. And if you fucking clip this weird, I'm going to bat it.
Well, it didn't happen last time, so nothing to worry about there.
I've got my own recording on my phone so I can
That's good. Yeah, I'm racially ambiguous. And also, it doesn't help the fact that I'm adopted, so I can't, pull out, ethnicity history for when I'm questioned in, a few years on deportation orders, like Raj. You mentioned that you've got a bit of the old adopted on your side as well.
Yeah, man. So my nan was adopted on my mum's side. So my heritage, knowledge of ancestry down that line stops with her, basically. There's not an awful lot of information about beyond me nan. Yeah, and although I did do me DNA, well, my missus got me a DNA kit to sort of check your ancestry, because I'm interested in that kind of thing, man. And yeah, bit of an anticlimax, nothing too interesting.
No.
Yeah, mostly British. Western European. 7 point something Ashkenazi zoo.
Bless you, bless you.
I was too busy trying to remember the Z in it, man, that I said zoo instead of Jew. Ashkenazi Jew. Is that the correct pronunciation?
I'm going to trust you on it. You know, it's your ancestry.
Well, it's something like that. It began with an A, and then other
and
letters.
ended with a Nazi. Yeah.
Is that? I'm gonna have to check it now.
It is. It always freaks people out. Like the Jews have got Nazis in them. And if the Nazis were gay, then they probably would have had some in them. You know.
I'm sure.
Da, 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 da.
I can't believe you installed a trapdoor in the ceiling for the glitter ball to drop out of. Yeah, so 7 point something percent, like old timey sort of Jew, from kind of back in the day. I think is where that kind of comes from. I think it's kind of a base level with a lot of people, I think. But yeah, the rest of it was pretty boring. Pretty much 80% gammon, I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Does it come out like like a bar graph, or does it just have like a roast dinner and then like a little bagel on the side?
It just gives you it in numbers, man. It just
Boring.
lists each kind of ethnicity and then a percentage number next to that. I'll get it up in a minute and I'll have a little look through it. As I say, there's nothing interesting in it whatsoever, apart from the hint of Jew, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, we're all from Africa originally, so you know we can all say it.
I'll leave that up to you're ambiguous enough that you could probably just about get away with it.
Are there any slurs you can say for adopted people? Like, do we get like a word we can use?
I've never heard of one.
No.
I think it's. I don't think I've ever heard anyone take the piss out of someone for being adopted. I think it's too.
You went to the wrong schools.
Nah, I mean, I've heard people have the piss took out of some bad stuff, but I don't think you can really for being adopted, can you? Is that one of the things that's off the table, maybe?
I don't know if...
I mean, you can make jokes about it, but I think actually skitting someone about it, I don't think I've ever... I'll come back to that, maybe one will pop into my mind, but...
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually heard anyone be horrible to someone for being adopted. I think it's just that's too heartless, isn't it?
Oh, your parents don't love you.
I mean, you know, that kind of, I don't know. I used to tell my sister she was adopted.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, you know, like, but that's siblings, isn't it? We found you on the step in a basket. No one wanted you. But if that was actually the case with someone, man, you can't fucking say that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm all for having a laugh and that, but what's this? Yeah.
So you've been looking into like family trees then, trying to.
Yeah, man. So like because me heritage is kind of well, I thought it was a bit of a dark, mysterious past, which individuals within the family tree may well be, but yeah. So my nan's line stops there with my nan. She's not with us no more. God bless her. Yeah, her dad, my mum's dad left when she was very young, so we've got very little information about him. So his line's pretty much dead. On my dad's side, my nan on that side's not too bad. I know her dad died in the Second World War on a merchant navy ship trying to rescue people off the beaches in France. And a German bomber dropped a bomb down the funnel of the ship. What a fucking shot. I mean, you've half got to applaud it. Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking hell, son, that's an hell of a hit.
Do you think some of these stories are like, just like, you know, that They say there was like something that went down the full, and then they've like fucked off to Brazil and got some bad booty bitches and had a great life.
Yeah, he just didn't want to come back and
Yeah.
fucking bring me nano. No, I believe all hands were lost at sea.
Right.
It was quite. It's quite famous actually. There's a memorial down. I'm not sure if it's this side of the dock or over the water. Oh fuck! What was the name of the ship? No, HMS. Wasn't HMS because it was
HMS
a
Andrew.
We'll just brush over that. Talking about my fucking granddad dying here. Whatever the merchant one is, HMS is the whatever the fuck. The ship Lancastria.
HMS Lolita.
That was a different one. Pack it in, will you? Yeah, so, like I said, I'm talking about the loss of my granddad at sea, blown up by the Germans. Shout out Stan Borman.
What if the Germans found out about the Americans and British using spies to make like pedo islands, and Hitler was just like, we've got to invade and destroy them. Hitler lost, and then they just went on with it and ended up with Epstein.
So are you trying to suggest that Hitler was trying to stop?
I think if there's one crazy billionaire on an island with a bunch of pedophile billionaires, there's probably been previous, and that might have gone back to the time of World War II, and
I'm sure it probably goes back a lot further than that, to be honest. These fucking lizard bloodlines, man. They go back a long way.
Yeah.
The current royal family fucking trace back to Charlemagne and all that, like, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's deep rooted. I like to feel like there's a veil being lifted. I feel like this is going to have to bring an end to the current system in some sort of way.
Allah forbid we're lifting veils during Ramadan. Come on, be respectful.
Again, your ethnicity suggests that you might be alright to say that. I'm not going to get involved.
Have you followed Ramadan this year, Dave?
I haven't, mate. It's not part of. I don't have any religion, so I don't observe any of the festivals. To be honest, the guys that do, fucking fair play. It mustn't be easy.
Yeah.
So it's no food or drink between sunrise and sunset.
That's right. Yeah.
So my manager's the postie by ours, like, and the lads who run the shop there observe Ramadan, and they come in the morning with like the fucking sickest scrans that they like bits that they've got left over that they pass into me, man. Yeah, man. So like,
I've been observing Ramadan too, just like my colleagues who are fucking starving, and I'm sitting there with a chicken and bacon sandwich, just fucking loving life.
The only Ramadan you observe is Ram and a lad called Dan. So you heard them laughing, it's not offensive. It wasn't a gay joke. Okay? I mean, it was, but it wasn't a bad one.
Yeah, just been having another Aladdin in my ass. That's an Aladdin joke.
Nice.
Bomb Squad, baby. I can't even use Bomb Squad anymore because there's a bunch of like Irish degenerates, like just absolute potato jockeys that have coined that name first, and they've got a bigger audience than I do, so I can't use Bomb Squad anymore.
That's how it goes, man. If they got there first, that's it. You just have to think of a better one.
Yeah.
It's your podcast. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Don't be open to me for suggestions.
Yeah. Well, I think the position's vacated right now, so I might just call myself the Iranian Ayatollah. Just get in there while I can. Just put that on company's house and see if that's not taken.
I believe Prince Andrew's not copyrighted anymore.
Is he not? No.
The name doesn't exist anymore, does it? Apparently, he's the paedophile formerly known as Prince.
Yeah.
That's been done so many times. I can't believe I even went there. Fucking cut that out.
I mean, bigger comedians than us have done that as well, and I was kind of like, that's a bit hack, isn't it? But okay.
I mean, sometimes low-hanging fruit, you just got to say it for a laugh, haven't you?
Is that when they're killing homosexuals? Low-hanging fruit?
Yeah, so I've got me heritage results up.
There we go.
It just took me a little minute there because it's not like one of the good ones. I don't think.
No.
That's no slight to the missus there, by the way. It was a very lovely and thoughtful birthday present.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's one of the bigger companies, is what I mean.
It's okay. We'll cut that out.
So 62.1% English.
There we go.
Fucking bore off.
Well, the lowest point was 65. You're going back, I'm afraid.
I mean, at GCSE standard, it's a D, isn't it? So northwestern England and Northern Wales, northwestern England and England. Just, the Northern Wales, I think, is my granddad on my dad's side, who I didn't mention before, but the less said about him, the better.
I was going to say the Northern Wales are probably the women, aren't they?
It was my granddad on my dad's side, but
I was trying to call women fat, but
how?
Wales.
Oh, okay. The WH kind.
Yeah,
I missed that, sorry. I was too busy reading me heritage, I do apologise. So, North and West European, 27.5%.
Yeah.
Italian,
Oh.
6.5%. That'll explain the love for me feast calzones.
Yeah.
It fucking is Ashkenazi Jewish as well, man.
Yeah.
It's only 2.4%. I thought it was higher than that.
Right. You've been really trying to get a better interest rate at the bank, haven't you?
But
You've been trying to bump that up.
Hey, it really does say Nazi and Jew right next to each other. That's weird, that. Yeah. I wonder if the Germans nicked it off the end of that. Maybe. Probably not. And 1.5% Middle Eastern.
Not any more specific than Middle Eastern?
Nope, just gives me Middle Eastern.
Well.
And then there's an additional genetic group on the bottom, but doesn't give a percentage for that. Georgia, Florida and Alabama. Which apparently is a genetic group.
Okay.
That must be the regressive DNA from the deep south.
Yeah, that's where you get the voice from.
That's where I get the voice from. And the love of barbecue.
Love of barbecue. There we go.
Yeah, man. So there you go. That's my heritage in a nice little package. As I say, wasn't very interesting. It's pretty much just from round here.
Do you think the King's ever done it and gone what the fuck? Everything's wrong. 95% Nigerian. What's going on there?
When you say the King, do you mean Elvis or Charles?
Let's go with sausage fingers on this one.
Again, Elvis or Charles. Elvis was pretty big by the end.
He was.
No, I'm fairly sure King Charles knows exactly where his bloodline's from, all the way back, as I say, to Charlemagne and beyond. Them motherfuckers, whatever alien lizards came down and bred with their bloodline and all that. I went down that rabbit hole.
Did you?
I was one of the, because I'm old enough to be one, I was kind of one of the, not OG conspiracy heads, but what I like to consider kind of the golden era of the conspiracy. I tell you what, on that note, all of this fucking Epstein file shit, I tell you what we need to do. There's someone who is owed a massive apology. A huge apology, and he needs to be dragged out on national telly and apologise to Good Morning Britain on the fucking lot of them. David Icke. 100%.
Oh, fucking hell.
Right, listen, I've read quite a few of his books, not for everything. Right, listen, hold on. I've read quite a few of his books, right, and 70% of it is fucking batshit crazy, yeah? One of them, he talks about the moon not being real. Shut up, David Icke. Stop chatting shit, right? But there's quite a lot of it. Now, in his books, he suggests that it's not his words. He's just collecting research from around the world, and he cites all the sources, right? And they're fucking deep and they're heavy books, yeah. Everyone's got the idea that David Icke just the fella off the telly who said he was Jesus, yeah. There is a bit of that. However, what I will give him is all of this fucking bloodline shit, all of this highly connected Illuminati in inverted commas, all of this global elite Bilderberg groups, fucking Bohemian Grove, all of that kind of shit. He's been chatting that since the early 90s. 92, 91, 92, I think was his first book. Sources listed, like, fucking dissertation levels of citations and sources, and he's been on the money for fucking 30 years. He's been saying it, and he's been written off as a fucking nutter. And I've said for ages as well, I think that's part because the internet now, there's too much information. They can't physically assassinate you no more, so they have to assassinate your character.
Right.
Yeah? So it happened early on with Russell Brand. The more recent stuff, I don't want to get involved in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But early on, when he started the truths and that back in the day on YouTube, and he was pointing the finger at those in power, and he was pulling up all this shit, all of a sudden all this shit started coming out about him being crazy and that. Jeremy Corbyn the same. Like, anyone who tries to speak truth to power, seems to all of a sudden these stories come out about him being crazy. So I think, not necessarily the reptile bloodline, and not necessarily, like, the fucking Anunnaki and the moon not being real. Shut up, David. Like, the moon's real. He said it was put there to block infinite consciousness.
Right.
It's dead small, and the universe is dead big. Why would the moon stop all of infinite consciousness? Anyway.
I like that you think that's the reason why it's bullshit.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, that's your starting point, isn't it? You can carry on with more logic and reason, but that's where it doesn't make sense. He thinks it's some sort of man-made construct. I'm not saying everything he says is factual,
Right.
but all of this kind of fucking non-island shit and fucking all the interlinked, all the power play behind the scenes, the shit that you don't hear about, the shit, the powerful people that you don't know about. I'm not going to say their names because...
Oh, go ahead.
Nah, because the fucking door will go in, man, and we'll both get offed.
Right. He's just said that they're going to assassinate your character, but, like, what character's left at this point?
Well, that's
After
it.
these
Fucking,
podcasts.
that's why I'm not arsed no more. I've got nothing left to say. I'm fucking mates with you, so... But I genuinely, I do think there's something in that, man. Like, that man's been dragged over the coals for years, and do you know what? For some of it. Same with Alex Jones, man. Like, not saying all of it's right, they get carried away in fucking their own fantasy lands. But some of it, from what I've read, you go, well, he's been saying this, they've both been saying this shit for a long time, and a lot of other people have been saying it for a long time, but yeah, so...
But isn't this like David Icke and Alex Jones, isn't like, I don't know, open mic of ideology or intelligentsia where you just say enough shit and, like, you get one thing that's a real joke, but 90% of it is bollocks.
Yeah, to a degree, but I think, obviously you can, if you're on the internet for hundreds and hundreds of hours, a broken clock is right twice a day, do you know what I mean? But, unless it's a digital one. That was real bad, cut that out. So yeah, I'll have that, but at the same time, I think when you can back it up with receipts and you can kind of go, well, here it all is documented in a book from 1991 with sources listed as to, like, where this information's coming from that you can go and check yourself. Admittedly, not that I have myself, but I tend to go with, like, if you've listed it, you're allowing me to go and look for myself. You wouldn't do that if I was going to catch it out. So yeah, yeah, there is a little bit like chat enough shit, you'll get something right, but also I think you can back it up, man. I think certainly I haven't read all of them, but the ones that I have read, he's been onto something. He also listed in order, maybe not exactly in order, but the whole, like, destabilisation of the Middle East in the kind of early 2000s and ongoing up until the planes are on the way to Iran as we speak. But he basically kind of laid out the plan for destabilising the Middle East with, like, we'll start, I can't remember myself now the exact order that we're in, but, like, Iraq, Egypt, the whole, like, Arab Spring thing, all of that happened. He listed it all in the early 90s. fucking cashless society, RFID chips implanted and all that, and you kind of go, 20 years ago that was kind of a bit fucking psycho, but where we are right now, he was sort of right. And then that goes, well, if he was right about all that, is the fucking moon not real? Because he's been right about so much else, man. I used to have quite a well-fitted tinfoil hat back in the day. I went down some rather extreme rabbit holes.
That sounds good.
Yeah, man. Beyonce was an Illuminati princess, and yeah, it got wild. Shit got wild back in the day. That was the golden age. Now, all of the conspiracies just seem to be true, and it's not fun anymore.
I got asked recently about my tattoos because I've got a bunch of like Satanist symbols on me from when I was like a kid, and when I was looking at both like the theistic Satanism and the Levian Satanism. And it was all from a view of being very into the new atheists like Christopher Hitchens, Richard Dawkins, and being against Satanism and all kinds of theological religion, but also needing something that would, really upset my mother. So definitely get those symbols tattooed on me.
Well, I think sort of as you said there's sort of two branches of Satanism, isn't there? I think there's the kind of pop culture Satanism, like devil worship and blah blah, but seemingly the kind of magic with a K, the whole sort of occult shit, and the kind of not dark magic as such, but that kind of the Aleister Crowley shit and all that. I'm not saying there's something in it, but a lot of very powerful people, especially more and more is coming out now with these files, seem to be into that shit. I was listening to something the other day. Apparently, Ghislaine Maxwell's dad, Robert Maxwell, media fucking mogul, like multi-billionaire, whatever, probably one of the kingpins in this whole kind of Epstein shit that's going on. One of his companies, the name's gonna escape me now, I know it is, but it's a Pergamon. Are you aware of it?
No.
So it's a place in Greece, and it's known as the place where they found this monument known as the Devil's Throne. It's a big like Satanist. I'm sure it's Pergamon, something like that. Kind of a Satanist mecca almost. And Robert Maxwell called his company Pergamon Publishing or whatever the fuck, like. So apparently he was quite deeply connected into the dark arts, shall we say?
Very connected into the intelligence world as well.
He was Mossad and MI5 and everyone. I think he was connected to everyone, really. But then that's all that fucking Andy's been nicked for, innit?
Yeah.
Is passing off fucking secrets and shit like that. Like, so let's get it right, man. They all fucking look. Like I just said before, all of the actual nation states and the heads of nation states is just to give us the impression of democracy. It's just to give us the impression of freedom. It's all a load of bollocks. It's all played out above them, and it's a big game of risk for whoever it is that's above. Loads of bollocks. It doesn't matter. We're here for fucking 80 years, which is the blink of an eye. Let's fucking just all have sex with each other and have fun. Do you know what I mean? Like,
not the kids though.
Not the kids. Definitely not the kids.
No.
Yeah, I just fucking, anyone normal, it just doesn't. I don't understand how that works for those guys, but part of me wonders for the super rich, the super elite, where you can literally buy any experience. Adrenaline junkies, not adrenaline junkies necessarily, but when you've got that level of wealth, how do you get your kicks? Because you can have anything you want, and I suppose, and I'm not fucking saying it's okay, of course, but in the interest of trying to kind of understand where it comes from, is it that they just, is it the ultimate taboo, and that's the one thing left that gives them some sort of kick? I don't know. it's fucking. I nearly said it was sick, right? As in,
Right,
like,
yeah.
as in, like, disgusting sick, as in the proper way. But it was like, it's
Yeah.
fucking sick, man. And then I know some cunt's gonna go, usually paedophilia was sick, which it didn't. It's bad.
Right. So they think paedophilia is sick.
If you
I
clip
think,
that bit, Mr. Winterwright, we're gonna have problems.
and I'd just like to disavow what they've just said. So, do you think King Charles went out with some mad nights out with Andrew back in the day?
100%.
Yeah.
It's his fucking brother, innit? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's gotta be. They're all in it. Every single one of them. Just some of them can cover the tracks better than others. Some of them are too powerful where the fucking documents will never come out no matter what. I'm surprised this much has got out, to be honest. But I think it kind of reached a point where it had to. And that's what I say, that's with the internet now. They can't really hide no more. Which I feel like is why it's ramped up even more in the last 10 years, because it's like, shit, they're onto us. We're going to have to fucking all hands to the pump to get this in the conspiracy speak, this kind of new world order, one global government, one global bank, one global fucking centralised power. We've got to get this shit moving soon, because otherwise these cunts are going to wake up and realise that they've actually got the power. Yeah, man, I went through a heavy phase of of tinfoil hat stuff. Shall we say? Did we mention last time? I think we did the arresting the judge thing. Did we talk about that?
I think we have now.
Thought man, I talked about it on the last group one. So through all of the conspiracy stuff, I got involved in the Free Men on the Land movement, i.e. being a sovereign citizen and taking back, like, you know. Listen, I was born in 1984. The Magna Carta and all that shit was signed in like 1215.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up to none of this shit.
Yeah.
I didn't agree to these rules. I was just born into these rules. So, you know, so I went a little bit down that road. Again, bit murky waters down in that way. But yeah, so through that, I ended up outside Birkenhead Crown Court with quite a large group of people and a friend of mine at an attempt to arrest the judge for presiding over a council tax case, which, according to these particular set of thinkers, is unlawful.
I've seen videos of stuff like that.
If you've seen the one outside Birkenhead Crown Court, I'm on it. Only standing there, I wasn't really involved. But yeah, the leader of the pack, shall we say, he actually got in. It was a lot less exciting than I thought it was going to be. The ones who got in before we got there. So we basically stood outside the court for like 2 hours, watching the police not do an awful lot. They were really sound, actually. And yeah, so he tried to arrest the judge. He served him the fucking papers, whatever it is. It didn't work, obviously, because the powerful are the powerful for a reason.
I thought you were going to finally admit it and go, because it was bollocks. But no, because they knew.
No, to all intents and purposes, it is bollocks, because they've got all the power. So, you know, they fucking just throw money at it and manpower in the way of the corporate debt collectors that are now the UK police force. Yeah, man. How did we end up down this road, man? I was talking about my dead granddad before.
Was he in on it too?
No, he was blown up in 1940 odd.
That he was. You say like the conspiracy stuff is like a thing in the past, but I think you're still kind of there, right on the edge of it.
No, I got very involved when I was younger. Kind of late 20s, through the talking and stuff and all that. Really, I read The God Delusion, and I was like, holy shit, the world's not real. And then just through mates, like, have you seen this thing? Have you seen that thing? Little bits of symbolism. Have you seen the way to do this? And like the whole like fucking eye in the triangle and all that bollocks. And then you're off and running then, aren't you? Once JFK, it was an inside job. It's all been an inside job. And then you learn later on, like the fucking Gulf of Tonkin and Pearl Harbor and all that, like, yeah, it's all confirmed. It's all like, so if some of them are real, it doesn't say all of them are real, but probably some of them are fucking real. So, what was the original question? I went off on a tangent
That
again.
you're still in the game a bit.
Oh yeah, so I researched a lot when I was younger, so I still kind of retain it all now. I don't engage with it as much now. I used to be very much militant, kind of conspiracy theorist, atheist sort of wanker. um, yeah, yeah, it consumed my life for years. Um, which, uh, hand in hand with a bit of cannabis smoking. I'm not the only one who's been down that road.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, man, the fucking moon's not real. But yeah, no, I've retained a lot of it because I got, as I say, I've read like 5 of David Icke's books, and every one of them's like a dissertation. They're deep, heavy, all kinds of documentaries, and I've engaged with it for a long time. But I try not to so much now because I actually got to the point where the conspiracy theorist, in inverted commas, side of it sounds very convincing, and seems to be a lot of evidence, and it all stacks up. And then the other side, the mainstream side, also has a lot of information and evidence and seems to stack up. And you go, well, they can't fucking both be true.
Yeah.
So I may as well not bother. Like, I'm never going to find out which one's actually real. Although we are seemingly getting information nowadays that the conspiracy theorist side was quite accurate with quite a lot of it. Yeah, man, all of the fucking, I'd say the Bohemian Grove, fucking child sacrifice, fucking drinking kids' blood, adrenochrome. That was another one back in the day that was quite a big, which is apparently some kind of adrenaline, like it's taken from fucking babies in high stress states or some shit. Can't remember it all exactly. As I say, just a bit of jazz cabbage taken in over the years. So there's holes in the memory. But yeah, man, it goes that fucking deep, and then, as I say, the Bilderbergs and it just goes too deep. It's too deeply rooted, and it goes back to the Knights Templar and fucking like Jerusalem and all fucking, like, it's just, you'll send yourself crazy, and we're only here for fucking 80 years, and I've got a missus and kids and mates, and you know what I mean. So, like I said before, man, let's just fucking party and have sex and have fun. Like, we're not here long enough to worry about it, man.
As soon as these kids are gone, you're going to be back into it, aren't you? You're going to start writing the books.
Well, see, even that. So I was almost an anti-vaxxer. So I was riding the height of it when my son was born. Well, say riding the height of it, I was in the early kind of, oh fucking hell, they're trying to kill us with with vaccinations. So it was legitimately touch and go whether he would get his first vaccinations. Thankfully, we did get him vaccinated. He's never been ill. There's probably a touch of autism, but I think there is in all of us, to be fair. I wouldn't say there's enough to blame it on the vaccines.
Yeah.
I was a lot more sceptical with the COVID ones because that was a bit more kind of Icke-ish. Especially with the way it came about, and I didn't trust exactly what was going on with the narrative around the pandemic and shit like that. It's fucking old news. It's 6 years ago. I'm not gonna dredge it all up. But yeah, so yeah, I very nearly got fully embedded, but luckily I was able to get out in time, and only for the fact that I just tired myself out with, like, I don't know what's true anymore.
Yeah.
But what I do know is true is the people that I know on a day-to-day basis, the people that I meet on a day-to-day basis, the people that I love, the people that love me, I know those things to be factually accurate, or real, tangible things. Focus on them, man. The rest of it, I can't change it. I can't stop fucking ancient bloodlines that go back to the fucking Merovingians and the fucking Sumerians and all this shit. It's too deeply rooted, man. We've got what we've got, and we get a limited time to enjoy it. That's enough on that, I think. I'm getting way too philosophical. I'm trying to be a fucking comedian, man.
We can do like philosophy podcasts. I've done that before.
As well.
We can do philosophy podcasts. I've done that before.
Nah, no. I see. That's what I'm actually into. But I'm trying to get on stage and be a dickhead, and you can't really do that when you're actually, semi switched on. The illusion crumbles.
That's the thing. You kind of figure out that you need to build a voice and fill the idea of an image about yourself so that you can do your performance self on stage. There's always the criticism, like edgy stuff or like dark material that I like to do.
Yeah.
We'll leave a couple of big comedians unnamed. We're taking part in like a Kill Tony style event where you do 3 minutes of material and then you get a bit of an interview and they give a bit of feedback on the material. They were very against some of the not Ashkenazi but like Jewish stuff I was doing, and saying like you need to cut certain things out, and I take it on board because I still want to like make sure it doesn't come across as hateful. But there also seems to be the kind of consensus idea that edgy stuff is like not cool to do, like it's just like, oh, you're new and you're silly and it's not worthwhile. So that's the kind of like voice I've got to try and get into, deal with how people perceive you, deal with the vibe, make sure it's not hateful and come across in the right way. And the same with yourself, like you're trying to go for this kind of, I feel it's kind of like a Jack the Lad kind of thing, a kind of like nice little mank fellow who could be like round the pub. If you wanted to do like the philosophy stuff, like there's no reason you can't.
Oh
like,
no,
change
absolutely.
up and go into that.
Absolutely not. So we'll unpack that to touch on your stuff first. I think there's room for all styles. I think there's some comics are outrage comics, and some comics kind of skirt that line of saying things just because they shouldn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's got its place. It's not necessarily what I'm trying to do, but that's not to say that that it hasn't got its place. I do think as new comics, if we can even call ourselves that yet, because it's such a delicate line, I think probably with more experience you'll get a lot. I think sometimes the conversations that we've had, you said before about giving me a ring now and again just to run ideas, sometimes it can, because we're new, it can be a little bit bullish and a little bit kind of a bit brutal and a bit kind of, again, just through experience and just kind of knowing the exact kind of language to use and the exact kind of tone and the exact sort of, but like I say, from what I've been told by much more experienced comics, that will just come with time. That kind of, like with anything, with any craft, you learn to do it better with time. In terms of my stuff, yeah, I sort of came through the big comedy workshop. Shout out Bren Riley. His advice basically was to kind of, in the pursuit of finding your own voice, his advice was to speak about what you know. So I did started just talking about my family and stuff like that. And he kind of suggested that, he kind of put me on the path of, you've sort of got a style because you, so it's, and I think it's very fit and I think it's right. So I'm because I was brought up in the 90s and sort of a bit of a lad in the 90s and kind of grew up with lad culture and FHM, Loaded Zoo, kind of Nuts magazine, all that kind of thing. Booze, Birds and Footy basically was how I grew up, and music. But also kind of being a parent in the modern age where, as you alluded to earlier on, there was a lot of things that got said back in the day that wouldn't necessarily, and there was a lot of attitudes back in the day that wouldn't stand these days. It was kind of somewhat kind of footy hooligan sort of atmosphere when I was a kind of early teen, more in a kind of Hollywood way than an actual hooligan way, but yeah, so he kind of suggested that was my USP, I suppose, is to kind of be this almost like a fish out of water, sort of like I'm trying to be a modern man, but I'm actually a bit of a fucking knuckle dragger from the 90s, which there is a little bit of that. I think there's a bit more to me than that, but I'm kind of getting towards that. Some of the new stuff that I've been trying is a little bit more sort of, not necessarily political, but kind of moving away from, oh, fucking hell, like, oh, my daughter and pronoun town, and which is, you know, it seemingly works. Come out and see me. But yeah, I don't want to stay just with that. I've got bits that I want to get to around all of the David Icke stuff and the conspiracy theory stuff and the kind of little bit more real and sort of a bit more, I don't know, man, a bit more pretentious probably, a bit more up my own ass. Yeah, just with a bit more to it, I suppose. But again, that'll be with more experience, where I'm a bit better at crafting it, and I think some of those subjects, you know, you don't want to fuck it up and like piss people off or alienate people or like, yeah, man. But I think back to your stuff, I think that's, like I say, outrage comedy's got its place. It's not for everybody. It is for some people. Clearly, not so much for the two people who were at Ship and Forecast. But that's just a taste thing, man, and that's okay. Like, doesn't mean. I think there's ways you could maybe soften it up a little bit, and maybe soften up. Or I think if you do it with more of a twinkle in your eye, where there's kind of like, I'm literally being the little devil on your shoulder here and saying the things that no one should say, and everyone is in on the joke that you're doing it literally because you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It's not that you think any of these things, or it's literally just saying it because it's funny to say.
Yeah.
The one you rang me with the other day, I'm interested to see how that goes. Obviously, I won't burn it on here, but I'm interested to see how that goes on its debut. But that's, like I say to other people, like, you know, people who are on the course with me and stuff like that, and like I'm talking here like I'm some sort of fucking, like, I know what I'm talking about.
You absolutely are.
Well, yeah, but I've been into comedy. I've only started it recently, but I've been into it since I was like a kid, like a little kid, wanting to make people laugh and kind of telling jokes and being daft. I just never had the balls to do it until recently. So I think it's given me a good sort of observer's eye on comedy, and kind of, fucking hell, or the whole scene's gonna think I'm a pretentious prick here, and I don't mean it like that. Just
don't worry, the whole scene's not going to listen to this shit.
Well, they all think I'm a pretentious prick anyway, so
nah, they're jealous.
don't please, guys, don't. I need your love.
You're all shit. Fucking book your ideas up. I can't last a minute on the fucking Gong Show.
I think these are all amazing, guys. I love every single one of these individually. Please don't hate me. I need your my ego needs your support. But I forgot what I was saying now. Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, man, and fucking just find it, innit? That's all any of us can do is. That's what I was going to say. I said to Matty, and like, the way I kind of perceive it is, you just throwing a load of rocks into one of them fucking rock tumblers, and if you leave them in there long enough, like, they'll come out all polished and nice, and basically just an amalgamation of all of the other people's advice I've listened to over the years, from open micers to fucking stadium acts. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been into it for a long time, so I've listened to a lot of, like we all probably have. I'm not saying I'm special either, but yeah, listening to all those guys talk, listening to books, audio books and stuff like that. Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm right. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there because I'm gonna talk myself into an ego hole.
That's good. And when I mentioned about the comedians that say, "Ooh, that's like edgy, like you shouldn't do that, you don't need to do that, you know, you can do other stuff," I take it on board with when it's like specific. Like, there's a joke I've got where I just say, like, I'll say it because I say it at plenty of shows and there's one to listen to. Broke up with a guy who's Jewish, brought him back to my place for the first time. I live in this tiny apartment where the bed pulls out into a couch. So to try and diffuse the tension, I made a little Transformers noise. Jew, 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 Jew. He was fucking fuming with that, didn't like that at all.
Yeah, I think it's a fucking great joke. I only didn't laugh then because I've heard it quite a few times, but it's a good joke, man. I like it.
I think it's a good joke, and I think it's not hateful at all, because it's not saying bad, it's not calling for bad things to happen, it's not using the stereotypes, it's not using a slur, it's just saying, pointing out the fact that the Transformers noise is kind of sounds like that, and now whenever you think of the Transformers noise and you heard that joke, you realise, I can't say it without thinking that it sounds like that.
Do you know what's probably funnier is that if we're entirely honest, the Transformers noise doesn't really sound like Jew, but that's kind of what's funny, is that it could, and it's kind of a caricature of the noise, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's the funny bit, is, and the fact that you've said you're bringing a Jewish lad back to shag him, right?
Yeah.
How then can you say anything hateful? Because clearly you haven't got anything against Jews, or you wouldn't be fucking shagging one. Do you know what I mean?
And the feedback I got back is just that saying the word Jew, it sounds sharp. It sounds like when you say it so much hateful. So step it down to the point where you're saying, like, the word Jew, like, maximum of twice. Otherwise, it does come across as hateful. And not just hateful, but like word fatigue as well. Like if you're trying to write stuff, I don't know if you noticed, but it's always the case that you can't repeat a word unless it's for like the punchline. Because if you're just saying like, football, you've got to break it down to where the writing sounds good by not repeating things again and again and again. Unless it's for the effect.
Listen, I'm fucking hell, more than happy to listen to the advice of much more experienced comedians than us, and if that's kind of what they're suggesting in terms of the over repetition of it, they will know that fucking well more than we do. So maybe it's just a case of you just having a little look at it and seeing if there's a way to alter it slightly so that you only use it twice, or I don't know. I think it works. I think it works because you kind of laugh at it like, oh fucking hell, he shouldn't say that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's whether you want that kind of laugh, or which, a laugh is a laugh, unless it's a pity laugh, and that's not a good one.
Yeah.
Or it's the laugh which I've seen a few people get on the open mic, is they don't realise why people are laughing.
Yeah.
They're not laughing at the jokes, they're laughing at the lack of jokes usually.
I'm laughing at like the awkwardness of it.
Yeah. But I think that then also leads to a bit of like, oh, I'm quite good at this because people are laughing.
And then you try in front of a crowd and it goes, oh.
Yeah, yeah, and that's where it can get a bit. I'll use the word awkward. That'll do. Awkward will do. If that's the kind of advice that those two particular comedians have given you, I would see if there was a way to kind of incorporate that, because there's a reason they're doing what they do and they know what they're talking about. Do you know what I mean? So,
well, I also want to make sure doesn't come across as hateful. Comes across as, oh, that's naughty, but we can all laugh at it. Like you can see the dark side, and you can laugh at it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think there's definitely. I think we actually need more of that. Really, I think we need to. Personally, I think we. Well, I think so. As we've alluded to at the start, the mics weren't too good the first time we started this, and you mentioned, I need to apologise to you for some jokes. I don't think anyone should ever apologise for jokes that are intended as jokes. I think people get confused sometimes and think that they're joking when they're actually being a bit hateful. But if it's set up as a joke and there's no victim, and it's clear it's a joke, it sounds like, I think we talked about it last time, how I feel that it's actually more inclusive to joke about one another, and it shows that you don't take yourself too seriously, and it shows that you can be part of the tribe, man. You can be part of the gang. Like, we can all get along if we can all see our own faults and laugh at them, and none of us are fucking perfect. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, none of us are. We've all got a fucking hole in our ass at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Like, as long as we can laugh about it, and as long as it's not said hatefully, yeah, man, it's just peace and love and fun. Like, I don't know what's up with people. Why are we not aiming for that? Why is everyone aiming to hatred, man? You've got to stitch it up, you know. I'm not going back to that in the conspiracy, though.
No.
As much as I want to.
Can I tell you the one that I told you the other day? Because I don't think I am going to burn it in a set. I think I am going to cut it out and try and figure something else out as the edgy bit at the end of this set I'm working on. So I called you up the other day, told you the joke, and you said,
Hold on before you do, because I don't think you need a lot of work on it. So I wouldn't bin it, and I wouldn't necessarily... Unless, and feel free to edit this out, unless... I assume this is going to go out after your gig where you do it the first time, or are you not going to do it now in this next in these gigs?
So I'm working on a 10-minute set, which I'm gonna do Molly's Asylum soon. So I'm gonna work it out at some open mics as well. But again, this will get like 20 views. It'll only be for like open micers who will listen to it.
But they're the people who are going to hear it first.
They're only tomorrow when I'm gonna try for the first time. So.
Look, it's your material. It's up to you. It's whatever you want to do with it.
Let's have a go. So, I called you up the other day, asked your opinion on it, partly because I knew it was a bit rough. I just wanted to get someone else to confirm it. So with that in mind, the joke is, my mum's black and my dad's white. And I found out later in life that my dad was actually quite violent towards my mum. So I think it's quite ironic, you know, that I can smash a box of chocolates while my dad was beating up that chocolate box.
There was a tag as well to that, wasn't there?
There was a tag as well, which is yeah, that's fucked up, but it's alright though. He's dead, you know. Fuck him. To be honest, my family's got more cunts in the box than Ed Gein.
Yeah. I think this is so. When you phoned me with it, and caught me somewhat off guard.
So what you said was, beep, smoke detector again. Fucking yeah.
The smoke detector acted as a kind of natural sensor.
Yeah.
Beep. No, I think the tag, calling him a cunt and stuff like that, it sort of makes the first bit okay.
But that is a joke about interracial domestic violence.
It is. It is. I just look. It is a joke about interracial domestic violence, but it's also a joke about your mum and dad.
Yeah.
And so, if anybody's got the right to say it, it's fucking you. Do you know what I mean? It's the advice I gave you the other night is that maybe the language is a little bit brutal.
Yeah.
Maybe smashing that chocolate box. I think you did actually lighten it up that time, did you?
Yeah.
It was a bit harsher the first time around when we spoke. I think that tonally, like I say, I think it's if you can see there's a twinkle in your eye, and everybody knows you're being mischievous and you're being a little devil, and it's low-key energy, and then if people get offended, they're fucking boring. Do you know what I mean? Like, not everything's Michael McIntyre. Like, and Michael McIntyre's got his place, man. He's a fucking great comedian. But he's very safe, and that's cool, because we need Saturday night comedians as well. Like Saturday night telly comedians, but also you need late night club comedians too. I mean, I don't think you'd be hosting Saturday Night Takeaway anytime soon.
No.
But some of those good old rough and ready, dark, dingy, stinky room gigs that you get, you'll fucking smash them. So, like I say, everything's got its place, man, and it's just giving it enough time for it to find its place, you know what I mean, and find its audience. And you'll probably, I'm sure you'll take stuff out, you'll fix stuff, you'll tweak stuff, you know, if your corporate overlords allow you to carry on. But yeah, like I say, I think there's room for all types of comedy. Just because it's not one particular comedian's style doesn't mean that no one likes it. We've all been in rooms and heard you make people laugh, like significant numbers of people. It doesn't hit everybody.
Yeah.
But it's divisive stuff, you know. It's just, some people just don't like oh, you can't say that, and you get all tense. Some people laugh when you can't say it. Some people agree with it when you say it. Do you know what I mean? Like yeah, it's just fucking. We're just having fun, guys.
The things that convince me that it's okay to do is when you tell me about like innocent and not at all offensive jokes that you've told or like someone else has told that people get offended by, and I'm like, oh well, all bets are off then. You're doing a joke, you're taking the chance that someone's get offended, so why care at all? You know.
I think I think the internet's created an outrage culture, hasn't it? It's just everyone, and without being like a fucking half fart about it, like people seem to want to be offended by things that. Chappelle was the best example of it. I can't remember if it was The Closer or one of his recent specials. Pretty much the whole hour was beautiful, poignant. I mean, he's the GOAT. No one does it better than Chappelle. It's fucking beautifully written. Essentially a love letter to his trans friend that had killed herself. He'd had opening for him on tour. He said she was a shit comic, but like he fucking loved her and wanted to do whatever he could and blah blah blah. And the whole thing was essentially a really beautiful love story to this particular friend of his. And he fucking pulled him over the coals over it in the media, online, the various fucking outrage machines, whatever they are, because he was talking about trans people. Now, like I said before, first of all, making fun of each other gets you like in a group with each other. You can play. It's play. Playing together is really important. We do it when we're kids. We stop doing it when we're adults for some reason, but it's really important. Like it's how you know people aren't a threat when you can play together. If you keep yourself outside the group, then you seem like a threat because we don't know what your intentions are. You're outside the group. That's point number one. Point number two is it's quite clearly not offensive to trans people. He's actually saying in it, some of them are cunts, but some people are cunts. Any creed, colour, nationality, race, religion, whatever the fuck, some of them are cunts. Across the board, most of them are sound. And to be fair, on a day-to-day basis, I think we all interact with mostly sound ones. Of whoever, just human beings. That's all we all are. And so, if you're gonna get a cob on over it, fucking go and do it somewhere else in private, because we're only having a laugh. And if it's not your type of humour, I'm sorry you were there when it was said it wasn't for you. Do you know what I mean? Go somewhere else. Go watch fucking Michael McIntyre or someone who does nice safe stuff. Me.
I mean, you don't even do the safe stuff, You're...
Mostly. I think I'm relatively safe. Although my new stuff at the moment was reform, feminism, and what was the other thing? I forget now. It's work in progress. But
so something you're for and something you're against.
No, it was three things that really pissed me off.
All right, okay.
But before you kick off on me for including feminism, it's not actually feminism. It's the fact that
they can vote.
But you heard it from Mr. Winters. That was not my opinion. If you do some weird voice change AI technology on there to make that sound like me, I'll kill you.
So much I can do.
Nah, it's actually about the fact that we, as men, get sent downstairs when there's a burglar in the house. But I thought we were equal. Why is it me? That's not the joke. That's the premise.
Bomb squad, baby.
No, yeah. Basically,
it's new.
It hasn't gone very well on the two occasions that I've done it, and that's that's okay.
It's new.
Yeah.
Less than a year in, both of us.
Yeah, man. Which it's weird that it's almost a year already. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's strange. A lot of fun. We've had some fucking good laughs.
Yeah. What I really like seeing now is the Phil Ellis Instagram clips of what like a new comedian's like when he's like 6 months in and like jaded, and he's not nervous on stage, doesn't give a shit, doesn't fucking take it seriously, bitching about other comedians, just fucking, you know, he started off all like bright-eyed and this is going to be great, and now he's just like, oh, whatever, I don't even care.
I think when you join any kind of new group, it's quite, I don't know if daunting's the right word. It's obviously you don't know. Okay, so with the comedy scene in particular, so I've been a part of the Liverpool music scene for years. It's very cliquey. It's very, you know, you've got to know certain people to get certain places and blah blah blah. Comedy's probably the same, but so I came into it thinking it was cliquey and it's similar to the music industry. It's absolutely not. It's one of the most supportive groups of people I've ever been a part of, but when you join as a newbie, obviously there's people who have been doing it for 5 years plus.
Yeah.
So there'll be 3 or 4 of them, and they know each other really well. So we talked about it. Some of the new guys outside one of the open mics at one point, in terms of like school years. So like we're like the little year 7s just coming in.
Yeah.
You know, we've all got brand new pencil cases. We've all kind of brand new stationery and, you know, all kinds of stationery that you're never going to need, and everything's squeaky clean. And then you've got, you know, the year 9s. They've been on the scene maybe a year or 2, so they're a little bit more ingrained. And then, like, you know, the year 11s have been kind of 3, 4, 5 years plus, and so on. And so, you know, when you start year 7, man, the year 11s don't want fuck all to do with you because they don't know who you are. You're just some kid who's just started. But, you know, once you've been there a little while and your face gets around and people know you're not there to fuck about, or and that's another thing, man. So many people turn up and have one go at it and you never see them again. So I think for the people who've been at it longer, haven't seen examples of that a lot more, it takes a little bit longer to get to know them because they kind of think, there's no point making mates with him because he won't be here in 3 weeks. So yeah, it's very it's been boss. But as I say, every single person that I've had the pleasure of meeting on the open mic circuit at the moment, you couldn't ask for a more supportive bunch, man. It's kind of beautiful in a semi-gay way. It's
Right.
yeah, man. It's that's that 90s kid coming out of me again.
Yeah. Got a fag shit today.
Again, the words of Mr. Winter there, you heard them here.
No, sorry, he's
Not
like
fair.
David Rowlands on the podcast as it comes out.
Nah, man. But again, I didn't say it in a hateful way, man. It was, you know, I meant it with love. Like the gay community is a lot more in touch with their feelings and that, man. It's generally speaking. So I think to say that, like, fucking come and speak to me if you've got a problem with it. I'll explain it to you. I'll give you a hug and be your mate. I'll buy you a pint.
So you're saying you don't hate fags?
Not at all, man.
Okay.
And personally, I wouldn't use that word, but
No.
you know, as a member of the community, you're allowed to. So you know,
Am I?
yeah.
No, the character's gay, just so I can say fag.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the character, aren't I? Or who the fuck am I here with? Yeah, man. Like, as you probably gathered, I've said it 4 or 5 times. I'm just fucking peace and love and let's have fun, do you know what I mean? I don't want to upset anybody, but if you get upset through something that's not my intention, it's not my intention. You got upset. Sorry, that's your fault.
Absolutely. And we all know that when it comes down to it, in a few years' time, you'll be getting your paid middle spots and you won't be coming on here again. They'll be like, nope, I don't want to fuck this up. I don't know that person. I disavow him completely.
I was going to say, I'm sure there'll come a time. There'll maybe come a time where I get in touch with you and ask you to remove all trace of these podcasts from the internet. Nah, man. Like I say, I don't come at anything from a hateful angle. Like I've got, if you want to come and see me at some point, you may or may not. I've got a bit that involves a dwarf, involves a little person. And for comedic effect, I obviously use the word dwarf and make not jokes at Dwarf specifically, but kind of more at myself being a bit of a moron. And I did it at a gig once where there was an actual little person in the audience, and he fucking loved it, man. And he gave me a big hug after it, and well, I gave him a big hug after it. He gave me a little hug.
It was just looking that he was happy.
As well.
Just looking that he was happy.
Yeah. You could tell by his lack of hat and bald head, but oh no, he was dopey, wasn't he? Bastard. Yeah. No, but I had a conversation with him after it, and I said, "Oh, like I was shitting myself there, to be honest, doing that with you here. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't want to be offensive." And he went, "Mate," he said, you're not coming from a horrible." He said, "You're the butt of the joke at the end of the day." He said, "You're not coming from a horrible. It was just a funny situation that happened to involve a dwarf, and you're not being hateful, and no little person's ever going to have a problem."
And then he jumped you with 6 of his friends.
Yeah. There's
one big bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's now been replaced by a Mexican woman for some reason.
Oh, I'm not getting into that.
No?
I can't be arsed with all that.
What does David Icke think about that?
I don't know his position, and nor am I going to share mine.
Can you message him? Have you got like subscriber plus status with David Icke? Can you like get him like cameos or something?
He stopped answering me calls because I was doing his editing.
Right, like
he blocked me on everything. No, so the Jib, isn't it? I forget his surname now. I am sorry, Jib, if you happen to come across this for some reason. He's another comedian on the scene. Like, he's that cool, and he didn't have a problem with it. I did ask him if I could record a video of him saying that, so that if some fucking blue-haired cunt in hot water at some point, if I did that bit, oh, you can't fucking say that, that's offensive, I could show them the video of my mate Jib giving me the pass.
Yeah.
Because he's fucking sick. I didn't actually get him to do that, like, but...
No. So you mentioned earlier that you are a musician, you used to be on the musician scene, so... Still am. So is that paid professional? Is that like open mic kind of stuff? What's that?
Bit of both, really. So I've been in bands since I was 16. I've thought recently, I think it was probably a kind of methadone for the want to do comedy, because I entered the Year 10 talent show wanting to be a stand-up, so it's like 13, 14, and then started playing music when I was kind of 16.
Was that back in like 78, 79?
Not quite, you cheeky bastard. Late 90s, okay. Early 2000s.
Is that Manchester, not Liverpool?
Liverpool.
Despite
the haircut, I didn't have this haircut then.
No.
So I've been paid for some. I've not been paid for a lot more. Yeah, gigged all around the country. Went on tour with a fucking sick blues band, which I really miss. Johnny, fuck's sake, getting signed with an originals band. That was a really cool tour. Yeah, so yeah, I can play, man. I'm multi-instrumentalist, got a music degree, got a master's in music industry management. Yeah, and now I'm putting it all by the wayside to have a go with this for some reason.
Yeah. The other thing that is kind of a reality in comedy is the need to tour and the need to move around the country to do gigs.
Seemingly so, yeah.
I watched a podcast which is dead now, and they have like a big promoter on it, and they talk about how it works. And some venues will say, if you do our gig, you can't do another one in the area for like 2, 3, 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So then, if you're making your money solely from doing comedy, that means you do that venue, you get like a big crowd, you get a bit more money, but then you've got to travel to like another city.
Yeah.
To do one of those venues that might have the same rule, and then that's kind of part of the impetus for travelling around so much and doing things that pop up, new venues, bigger venues in different cities, and just keep cycling around that. But it seems a crazy way to do things, and it creates like a lifestyle that doesn't necessarily seem to suit, middle-aged big fella with a family. Like so what's the plan there? Have you thought about that much at all? Yeah,
so thankfully I've got a fucking incredible missus, really understanding and...
it's not what you said before the pod.
Really supportive and genuinely... people have heard me on stage. I am lucky, to be fair.
I was joking as well, just to like get on
Yeah,
the
she knows. She lives with me, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just at it all the time, winding her up. But but she's super supportive. The kids are as well, and more the fact that the kids are getting a bit older now. So like 14 and 17, they don't necessarily. I mean, obviously they want me around. Well, arguably, because I don't really see them when I'm in. They're in the rooms most of the time or out. So yeah, the fact that they're a bit more independent now, they kind of don't need me as much to be around. And so, that's not to say we haven't had conversations of like, keeping it balanced. And if there was an opportunity to do comedy 7 nights a week, I would want to, but I know that I can't because I've got other commitments and I've got responsibilities and other people who rely on me and stuff like that, and want to spend time with me, and I want to spend time with them. But at the same time, she kind of knows the dance of how it works. She's a musician as well. In terms of being out performing and stuff like that, she kind of understands that world and that need and that kind of desire. In terms of being away touring, not that it's a thing that I'm really even considering at the moment. Maybe one day, who knows. Through work kind of as a painter and decorator in the past, I've worked away, weeks at a time. So my family does have a little bit of being used to me not being there for periods. So the odd night here and there to, I've just got an understanding missus basically is the short answer. And the kids are supportive, they're into it. They kind of love the fact that I'm having a go at it, and kind of like pictures of me on socials and stuff are hot water. I think it's kind of a little like, I don't know, I think they think it's kind of cool for their mates and shit like that. So yeah, man, I can't speak for all. I know there's contemporaries similar age of mine who don't get that kind of luxury and can only kind of get out as and when they can. Yeah, I'm just lucky, I suppose.
So it is going. It's going well, I'd say. Would you say the comedy stuff?
Yeah, mind-blowingly so. Like completely unexpectedly so. I'm getting some decent gigs, some fucking really good gigs. Actually, that sounded quite dismissive of them. That for the length of time I've been doing it, they're insane. Some of the gigs that I'm getting put on, some of the things that are being said about me, the current open micers and more professional acts, and things being written in little blurbs for the gig in Real. I read that this morning and my fucking head nearly fell off, like, because I can't believe people are saying shit like that about me.
What was it?
You can find it. I don't want to.
Go on.
Nah, it sounds too big-headed, man. I mean, I've screenshotted it, but
I'll balance it out with some accusations, just so you know.
Nah, it's one of them. They've got to sell tickets. They've got to write some shite, haven't they, about the comedians that are on. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll let you read it out.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm doing that. What have I done that for? Because you can say any hard bollocks now, can't you?
Dave Rowlands has come up victorious from his court case and will be performing at the Real Southern Centre.
Why did I do that?
The only place he's allowed to, because it's not within 500 metres of a school. Dave.
The Real Sun Centre. The fucking the water slide place where all the kids go. I'm going to be allowed there, am I, with those accusations that you're chatting on about?
It says here, P.S. He's not. That was a mistake. There's too many kids in the vicinity. Dave Rowlands. Here we go. A natural storyteller bringing real life straight to the stage. Dave is living proof that Liverpool is producing some of the finest comics of our generation. Honest, sharp, and brilliantly funny. Up there with Paul Smith and Adam Rowe.
Fuck off. You're a dickhead. It does finish after honest, sharp, and brilliantly funny. Like I say, it's mind blowing to me that people are writing words like that about me. I get up there and just chat shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think they've got like a Microsoft Word document of those
yeah,
quotes, just like copy and paste?
Yeah, 100%. But the fact that it's my name there with those words after it, like whether they fucking mean it or not, it's there, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of strange. Like, I don't really like it, if I'm honest. I know I sort of play up to it a little bit sometimes. But that's purely defence mechanism of I'll put on a confident facade because really I'm shitting myself behind it.
I mean, in 10 years, you're going to look back on this podcast, mainly because that's when the BBC will ask you, what the fuck were you thinking when you were on here? But also, like, you know, it's going to happen. So, like,
I don't know, man.
what do you want to say to yourself in the future?
Make sure those hard drives are fully destroyed and untraceable.
Yeah.
No, that's just playing into your hands. I can't believe I've done that either. Do you know what? Like, whoever does end up listening to this is gonna think I'm a right pretentious cunt. What I would say to me in 10 years' time, I hope you had fun. I hope you had a laugh. Wherever it ends up, I hope you enjoyed it. Whether it's fucking, I don't expect anything. Since I was a youngster, mum and dad split up when I was young, without going down too much of a thing. So early on, I was like, right, I'm not expecting anything, and then good shit's a bonus. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you expect things, you can only be disappointed. If you don't expect anything, you can never be disappointed. So, with that in mind, I don't have any expectations. I just want to enjoy the ride. I'm not really interested in the destination. I just wanted to get on the fucking bus, and because it's a bus I've watched go by for a long time, and I got to turn 40 and was like, I'm gonna have to get on that bus or it's gonna stop coming round. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, wherever it fucking takes me, man. I just want to have a laugh. I'm at the age now where, don't get me wrong, like, I could do with a few quid. But that's not the be all and end all. I'm after good experiences now, fun. Up to now, through the open mics, if you could call it supporting, even though it's not. But like, I've been on the same stage on the same night as Callum Oakley, fucking Jamie Hutchison, Alfie Brown. You know what I mean? Like, to even be in the same room and to be able to speak to those guys. Not so much Jamie, he was a bit aloof.
Cunt.
That wasn't me, Jamie. I desire your love and respect. I think you're amazing.
I love Jamie Richardson so much.
He's fucking hilarious, man. He's one of the funniest guys I've ever seen in my life.
I never realised that doing the Jewish stuff in front of him. He probably thinks I'm a psycho.
Everyone thinks you're a psycho, but everyone thinks he's a psycho, so it's alright. But yeah, just a couple of there's others. Obviously, I've probably forgot doing different open mics with weekend acts on and stuff like that.
They're not as good though.
Just longer ago. No, just longer ago. I never mean any disrespect, you know that.
In 7 months in this, how bad you remember you fucking all? They weren't that good, were they?
Did you not listen to me saying about the jazz cabbage?
They didn't leave an impression, did they, Dave?
No, more that I just weren't aware of them at the time, so their names weren't. But the likes of Callum and Alfie Brown and stuff like that, like they're people I've watched like online and kind of I've respected and revered. So to kind of be on the very, very peripheral of that, done a gig at Molly's with Callum the other night, Molly's Chambers, where you've been or gonna be recently, and yeah, man, just getting to spend a bit of time with him. Mike Osborne, who hosts that show, fucking incredible, very experienced comedian, and so to get feedback and respect from those guys, having not been doing it that long, it's fucking mind blowing. It's crazy. It's weird. It's been up to this like tiny little step that I've taken so far, like the smallest of steps into it. It's already been wild. So I don't know what the fuck it's gonna be in a couple of years' time, but I'm excited to find out, and that's the bit I'm interested in. Really, is the pursuit of it more than any kind of destination. Yeah, I suppose. How about yourself? I've never really asked kind of your reasoning for being on the scene.
My reasoning is quite dark. So, Mr. Quinters, Mr.
Everything's a bit dark with you, brother.
Yeah, Quinter, it's Queer Winter. Mr. Winter's show is a dark comedy podcast, so might as well tell the story. Worked for a company that started committing fraud. Tried to get out with some information about what they were doing and kind of informally blew the whistle. They found out, made me sign this thing that was, in my eyes, quite detrimental and quite like, they're being a bit scummy here. Formally blew the whistle at a big employment tribunal, then went to another company. Company after that, I applied for, and that was it, based in Liverpool. So I'm due to travel from Norwich to Liverpool. Everything's good to go ahead. Pack up all my stuff in this 2-bed flat in this. Get on the train. Friday evening, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, on this train with my little Nintendo Switch, looking to play a bit of Zelda. And then get a call. And it's the new company. And they said that the job offer is formally withdrawn. And I was due to start on Monday. All my stuff's been packed up in a van. I'm on the train to Liverpool to go and live in an apartment that I can't afford because I've just lost this job I'm due to start in, like, on Monday.
Jesus.
And I'm asking him, like, what's going on? Why is that? Like I'm panicking. I'm just like freaked out. Like before that, I'd been very suicidal. Years ago, I'd been sectioned, so I was like, "Fuck, I don't know what's gonna happen. I've got to find another job. This might be it." And I ended up finding out that it was formally withdrawn because of the whistleblowing stuff. They just felt they could do that. They could pay me out the month's notice and say, "Yeah, it's not happening." So. Get to Liverpool, need to find another job, just moved into this apartment that I cannot afford. Everything's like fucked. And in my mind, I don't know what I'm doing really. I was suicidal again. I started going to the church that's nearby because I was just like, I don't know what's going to happen here. But I'm frantically applying for the jobs and I finally get it. So it's like finally all sorted out. But that period in my life that was working for the company was committing fraud, and like the stuff afterwards and like the whole employment tribunal, which is like a thing in itself, that is something that I wanted to write about and turn it into a book and maybe like a series or something, but also with the aim of it being funny. I'd written a book previously about the really dark stuff that had happened in my life and sent it off to a agent, and the first agent I sent it to was like one of the biggest in the country. I get a reply. And this is the first person I've ever sent this manuscript off to. Get a reply first time, which is crazy. And the reply is, I'm interested in this. Have you sent it to anyone else? And I tell him, no, you're the first person. And he says, don't send it to anyone else. I'm going to have one of my readers look at it and I'll get back to you. So don't send it to anyone else. Wait for him to come back to me. He comes back to me and he says, this is interesting, the writing's really good, but I don't think there's a market for it. Because that book that I wrote, it's available on Amazon now, it's called In the Shadow of the Bear. It's bitchy because it's self-published, but it's about like traumatic, like child abuse and difficult childhood stuff that is a bit of a niche market in book sales. Other examples would be things like A Child Called It or My Mother the Psychopath, Why You Could Be Happy When You Could Be Normal. These kinds of books that usually are only rarely got an interesting hook if the person becomes successful or notable afterwards. Because I'm like no one, there's not really that much of a hook there, so trying to take that on as a project would potentially not be that profitable.
Okay.
But he was very supportive. Very biggest agent in the UK said, like, he's on TV all the time now as well with some of the other stuff he does. Said, and I followed up and said like you know, is the writing bad? Is that something I need to work on? And you said, no, the writing is good. It's not marketable. But this story I was thinking about, this story about what this company was doing, about the fraud that was going on, about those other kind of things, I think that has got like a real hook to it, and that could be really something. But I don't know how to be funny. So all that stuff happened, and then the big thing that happened, which has been the focus of my material for a while, has been a weird kind of relationship with a guy who's converting to become an Orthodox Jew. And then
that's the Transformer guy.
This is the Transformers man. Optimus Prime. Optimus... I bet a comedian would think stuff that, but I'm not. I met Optimus Prime, that went to shit, and then I thought, I've just kind of lost my mind a bit. I'll just try and go to this open mic and see what's happening. And it just went from there, really. I'm 7 months later now. So a lot of stuff has happened early life and then later life, and then I've got to the point where I'm thinking, I want to write this story, and I've got to get, like, comedy skills to write it, to make it interesting, to make it engaging. So all of the comedy stuff I'm doing is not to have a focus of doing like an hour special, to be a full-time stand-up comedian, to go on Live at the Apollo. It's kind of to make that project. But I've kind of got the notes there. I've done some work on it before I started doing the comedy stuff, but it's kind of sat by the wayside a bit, as I've just been kind of just enjoying the open mic stuff, doing the comedy stuff regularly. The plans may change. It may change from wanting to turn that into like a full comedy project as like a series or movie, into just going, actually, I'm kind of not interested in that anymore. I just want to do comedy. So I don't know how it's going to go, but that was the impetus that led me into it and what I had as a goal.
But then I suppose if you're looking at doing it from a comedy angle, that if the path did change and you wanted to pursue more the stand-up thing and kind of do an hour and stuff like that, that could be an hour. That whole, maybe an amalgamation of the two situations. That's what I was saying before, man. That's why the journey is interesting, and because you don't know what fucking way the path's gonna go. Like I say, I ended up going back to, like, I had a career in sales and marketing before I went to uni and done music, and I'd been a musician for years, but not studied it. But I'm going to read that book as well, by the way. They sound sick.
Yeah, I read it. I'm not going to lie to you.
You are?
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to take it down from Amazon.
Yeah, if it's too personal, that's kind of...
No, actually, you can. I mean, like, anyone can who's listening to this. You won't. Like, it's fine. It's always, like, really, really dark. It's, like, the dark stuff.
Yeah. I think that's sometimes where real interest lies, though. We said about a bit of the adoption stuff in my history. There's a bit of that kind of dark stuff, a bit of the kind of, not to me personally, but within my family, that I suppose it's like any horrifying act, I suppose, isn't it? Is it for me anyway? Just kind of wondering where it comes from and kind of what. I mean, that's why there's so many documentaries about fucking Nazis and shit like that, because it's human beings doing the most horrendous things in the world, and like how and why, and like trying to kind of see where does that fucking come from, do you know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of interest, there's a lot of fascination in darker stuff, so I don't think you should be, and not to say that you are sort of embarrassed about it, but that's your journey, innit? And I must admit, for a comedy podcast, I didn't expect it to take that turn, but I think it's nice to actually know a bit about it and like the man behind the mask. I don't know whether this is your podcast or mine now, but
well, I mean, officially, given that it is the 28th of February 2026, it is the podcast of the Supreme Ayatollah of Iran. Because that's a vacant spot, like I said earlier. So, Assalamu alaikum.
I haven't been paying attention. Have they got him? What's gone on?
I think they've got him. I think we're going to be celebrating Ramadan in style this year.
Well, see, like I said, I kind of stepped away from an awful lot of the political stuff after me kind of tinfoil hat times.
Yeah.
So I try not to engage as much as possible now, because it just fucking causes arguments at the end of the day. But like, so what's been going on? What's happened? I know that he's kicked out, like, the fucking WhatsApp man's sent some planes over and that, and and said about putting boots on the ground and like severe military. I heard a little thing on. To
put it in terms you understand, the tag team champions, Israel and USA, they're doing like a 3D.
You nearly drew me into a wrestling reference then, and I'm fucking glad I didn't make it.
That's what we're doing. Do it.
Well, yeah. For those who know, there was a wrestling tag team partnership back in the day. Their names were Hawk and Animal. They had red, like
jumpsuits kind of thing.
Yeah, like American football body armor
Yeah.
almost, with spikes out of it and their faces painted. Stick all that into Google and you'll find out what they were called. I'm not saying it, but when you said about the wrestling tag team of Iran and Israel, did you say was that?
Israel and USA.
Oh yeah, okay.
See, I'm not that old as a generation as a wrestling fan. I'm more like 2000s era, so like Team 3D. Israel and America have just put Iran through a table.
Yeah.
And you know the crowd's going wild. There's like bits of wood splintered out.
So and USA at the moment are on top turnbuckle, like waiting to elbow drop. Essentially, is that what we're?
Yeah, they're waiting. Like they're ready. They're like brother Trump is ready to get another table off for Bubba Ray, who's.
So at the moment, I feel like then, although you're not probably old enough to remember it, you will have seen it. The legendary, in wrestling terms, outside of wrestling is a different thing. As a child, this man was a legend. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Outside of wrestling, fucking whatever. The character in wrestling is all I care about.
I mean, even more of a legend to like just shag someone's wife and just go on with your life.
Yeah, but he had some questionable views on different ethnicity people and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, he's a fucking Iron Man from the deep south. Listen, whatever. I don't agree with him, but as a wrestler, fucking idol. Yeah. So I feel like Trump at the moment, you've seen footage of Hulk Hogan before he would pin somebody or before he would do a particular move, or when he came in the ring, he would do like the kind of winding his hand up to his ear.
Let's hear your crowd, let's hear
the crowd, and he would do like posturing and like show you those pythons and all that. I feel like Trump is that what he's kind of doing at the moment. Then if we last time we used footy analogies, this time we're on wrestling.
This time we're on wrestling, but we've got into the match now. We're at the point where, you know, the mustache is ruffled, the hair's unkempt, the bodies are glistening, he's been down on the mat a few times. Iran is struggling to get back up off the mat.
So do we think then the arena's going to go dark? Yeah. And then just over the PA.
Yeah.
Like just a big gong sound, and then the lights come back on. And
oh my god, it's Vladimir Putin!
Yeah, Putin, and who's in charge of China these days? Like, you don't know.
I think it's the Chinese man.
I'm sure it's a Chinese man.
I have to cut this off.
Why? I'm sure it is a Chinese one. In charge of China.
Yeah, there's no offence about that. It is a Chinese man in charge of China, as it should be.
Listen, I'm not saying that's the case. They do things their way. Do you know what I mean? That's cool. And you know, I don't have if they listen. Anyone's welcome to come and live by me if they want to. I'm mates with everyone. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. So do we think that that's a possibility? Then there's going to be a late entry. It's going to be a fucking Royal Rumble, isn't it?
It is. The Chinese president's going to come and give the egg roll submission.
And do you know what the worst part is? Do you remember the Undertaker?
The Undertaker, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember his little mate he used to have with him, Paul Bearer?
Paul Bearer, yeah.
Yeah. That's basically what we are, innit?
That is, yeah.
We are the Paul Bearer. Just standing outside the ring with
just shouting things in when that comes.
Just being like, oh, get him, go ahead, punch him in the face, like, but like, don't come and get us. And then one of the countries will jump out and come and smack our ass, like used to always happen to Paul Bearer. It's mad. It could be troubling times, but I think it's quite exciting, really.
Yeah.
Let's have it right. War these days.
What is it good for?
The creation of the military-industrial complex and
oh, fuck me.
Generating an awful lot of money for very wealthy people. Say it again. Fuck them all, man. I think war these days will be it's drones and very, very quick death bombs. So if it happens, we ain't gonna know shit about it anyway.
Yeah.
They've got supersonic fucking missiles that they can put a nuclear warhead on now. They could wipe us out in fucking 25 seconds if they wanted to. You ain't gonna know shit. That's why we just gotta, like I said earlier, peace, love, fun. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Fuck them all.
I think Iran's going to have to tap out, you know? That they're not going to last.
I mean, up to now, the US seemingly is the undisputed. It's not to say they haven't, you know, maybe put a horseshoe in their gloves every now and again and nobbled the opposition. And that's the thing, innit? That's, you know, history's written by the victors, innit? But
as long as you can, like, take out the ref.
yeah, let's put it another way. Yeah, you're aware of Operation Paperclip, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're not, if anybody is actually listening to this, I feel like we're just shouting into the fucking abyss. But on the off chance that somebody does listen who doesn't know Operation Paperclip, it was the operation, the American government took all of the Nazi scientists, Russia got a good load of them as well, but basically created the space race to see who could build the best fucking rockets with these Nazis, these like leftover Nazi scientists. And obviously a lot of them will have risen to positions of power within the scientific industrial community, probably within politics. You know, if you look at some of the names on the list of people who've been involved in American government since those times, there's a lot of duriously German ones knocking about.
Ashkenazis, if you will.
A lot of them were changed. Just keep my people's name out of your mouth. 2.6% of me peoples. So like how do we know it actually stopped? You know what I mean? And then just the whole plan. You know, people seem to be getting quite nasty about Jews again. That seems to be kind of okay these days. A lot of people are pointing out an awful lot of similarities to kind of modern politics, to, you know, mid-30s German politics. You know, it's a relatively lazy cliche, but there are similarities that can be drawn. So, you know, like, who the fuck knows, man? Like I say, we've got 80 years-ish if we're lucky. Let's just try and enjoy it as best we can. We can fucking worry ourselves into the ground. Or we can go, do you know what? Someone just fell over and that's hilarious. So, yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
That has been a fun podcast.
Yeah, no, it has. Not the funniest, necessarily, but interesting.
It's always a joke to end it out, Dave.
Do you want to know my favourite street joke? My favourite kind of, like, known, like, a joke that everybody knows. My favourite kind of bar joke, pub joke, is, and by the way, I must preface this, my favourite bar jokes, I'm a huge fan of dad jokes. I think shit jokes for this kind of thing are the best. If you can get someone to roll their eyes with a real bad joke, it gives me energy. When I'm on stage doing the comedy thing, I want them to laugh because that's what I'm there for. But like, if I just tell the missus or the kids, I want them to roll their eyes because it's the best. So we'll round off on this. Why didn't the lifeguard save the drowning hippie?
Why is that?
Because he was too far out, man. I've been Dave Rowlands. I love you, you gang of bastards.
And that is the final joke we'll get to hear while the Ayatollah Khomeini is being blown to pieces by America and Israel. That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Dave Rowlands.
Mossad, don't come and get me.